So I was able to remove this off the other hinge, and even though I unscrewed, you have to unscrew the little bitty screw before you remove the oval. This little bitty screw goes right in the middle there. You do that while this is on. This little screw is going to be inside in the middle. But on this hinge, and probably the other one, it's still tight, even with that screw all the way removed. I mean, this is so tight I can barely fix it, barely move it. So what I did was I unbolted these lock nuts, and especially this one, really loosens up the whole mechanism. So maybe that's why the oval isn't coming off on the other one. Maybe the thing is in the wrong orientation, the little spikes of these nuts. Yeah, this one is smooth going from here down to here. Maybe I have one of these edges, vertexes. Corner, maybe one of those corners is along this line, I don't know. So already it's easier to bend the hinge, but I'll do it a little more. And then do the other side. Yeah, so that's much easier. That is a lot easier. So for this laptop, since I busted out the chassis with those press-in screws, I'll probably make it super loose just so it stays where it's supposed to stay, and I'll have to use some other mechanism to actually hold the lid up. But this is a lot nicer. So now I'm going to orient these edges so they're flush. Let's see. So this one needs to go a little bit clockwise. Yeah, that's better. A little bit counterclockwise now. Yeah, a little bit more counterclockwise. There, now the edges aren't sticking up. This one needs to be counterclockwise a little. And I don't know if that's why the oval isn't coming off the other one. I'm just guessing, but now that's much, much looser. And here's the mechanism. These worm gears here and here, they're in sync through a little gear on a pin. So when you move one, the other one moves lock and step. It's not possible to just, it is with a little bit of flex, a little bit of give, but overall they have to both meet in this orientation for the netbook application when you fold your screen backwards all the way, or this in the laptop configuration. This is your screen and this is the keyboard. So I don't know why I can't get this one off anymore. Okay, big duh on my part. You have to remove the inner screw, that one in the middle, to get this off. That's all it was. So now it comes off. So on this other side, the orientation of these lock nuts didn't really matter. It does tighten it, but you don't need to make them flush. So to sum it up, you don't technically... Oh, I guess you do have to take the screen off. There's other videos how to take the screen off to get the bezel off, so that ultimately you can loosen these, and that's what really helps with the loosening of your screw. If you don't have hinges that are, if there's too much tension on the lid when you're trying to close it and shut it, you're gonna break your chassis and it's gonna pop out. So preemptively loosen these guys. And then within some amount of tolerance and some amount of adjustment can be done with the center screw. Once it's all assembled, even if the laptop is all put together, I think you could still access that screw by getting a jeweler's, removing the wire that goes in here and out here. You can kind of pull it out a little and then very carefully, you don't want to strip it, but you can wedge one of these in kind of at an angle to tighten up this little bitty screw in there. And then just don't strip it, or else you're never going to be able to adjust it without taking it all apart. And it might be really hard to get it in there too, because with it all together, you have wires and a laptop hanging off this hinge. But there you go. Hope that helps.